today's vlog is a bit different of a topic than I usually talk about in them, but basically I felt compelled to make it anyway, just because I feel like there is evidently a lot of misinformation about this topic that I even bought into and mistakenly believed till I tried it for myself and found out just how incorrect a lot of it is. I am talking about trying weed for the first time. Just gonna throw it out there. I made it 30 years without ever once touching it. And I could have even had it doctor sanctioned years ago because I have a laundry list of different health problems that I could get a card for like that if I wanted to, but I was always so scared of so much as touching it even once that didn't want to. I may be rethinking my position on this now, but no. So I was basically always scared that there's the whole risk that it can make you paranoid thing, and I'm like, I have just about every anxiety disorder a person can have. The last thing I need to do is give myself something that could make me more paranoid. So that was my biggest reason why I never ever wanted to touch it. And just in general, it sounded big and scary and just bad, and I wanted no part of it. Just one of those things, even though I realize virtually everybody has tried it at least once at some point in time. I was that one person who held out and was like, I don't know. I don't know about that. How about you guys go do that and I'll just stay out of it. But, no, so you all know the stereotypes of what it's supposedly like. All I can tell you is about my personal experience of what happened, or should say, what didn't happen. It could be different from person to person. It could be just nothing happens the first time. I don't know, but I've heard all these stories about people trying it for the first time and like dying laughing, or they go pass out for a while, or they get the munchies, or this, that, or the other, and you guys know all the stereotypes. Do you know what it did to me? Fuck all. It didn't do anything. And I tried 3 different times throughout the day, because I figured, you know what a better day to try it than 420. I was very much on the fence the past few years considering it and thinking, it's so close to being legalized for everyone in California anyway that should I end up liking it, I could end up getting a card for it and being able to do it legally. If I don't end up liking it, I never have to do it again. Win-win. It's just mostly curiosity more than anything, but I went into it expecting the stereotypes. And I should probably throw out there that because I am severely asthmatic, smoking it is not an option for me, so I went the edible route. Just saying, this was not homemade or anything. These were from my uncle, who got them from a dispensary. They were at least regulated that way. While basically all of them, my uncle and my parents, were busy either dying on the floor or just passed out, or some combination of the two, as the case may have been. I'm sitting there like, isn't something supposed to be happening? Like, anything? Like, I didn't even feel like the tiniest bit fuzzy-headed or anything. I don't know if it's because I drank earlier in the day before trying it. I don't know. Because usually that is my thing of, even though I personally didn't want to try it, I could at least show my solidarity on 420, because it's not that I think the thing is evil, I just personally didn't want to do it, but I could at the same time appreciate what other people are doing, and personally I think it should be legal anyway. It's like the one drug that really cannot hurt you in any way, shape, or form, so if anything, I feel like that should be legal, and freaking cigarettes and alcohol should be illegal, because they actually have dangers attached to them. Marijuana doesn't, so that's why I'm like, I don't quite understand priorities, but whatever. So that was my main thing of, I don't think it's evil, I just didn't want to do it, so I didn't do it, but at the same time, it's like, I'll have a drink instead, and show solidarity, but that was what I generally did every year on that date, just drink. That's about it. Maybe watch a Cheech and Chong movie. But, yeah. That was about the extent of it for me. Until yesterday when, I don't know, I guess I got a bug up and was like, you know what? I'll try it. I'll try a little tiny bit. So I had my choice of pot cookie or pot blueberry. Because the cookie was rock hard and I had a hard time even like touching it with my nail because it was so hard. I was like, I don't want to break a tooth on this, so I ended up going the blueberry route. Had one of those, sat around, waited, watched everybody else basically all sorts of messed up, and I'm just sitting here like, I honestly feel nothing at all. Not giggly, not hungry, not sleepy, not fuzzy, not distracted, nothing. I'm just like, did I do it wrong? And they're like, yeah, just wait a while. I mean, it's edible. You have to give it time to kick in. I waited 2 hours. It did nothing. So I had another one. A much bigger one this time. And I figured, okay, this one's bound to do something. So I waited, and I kept observing them having a good old time, and I'm just over here like, practically hearing the Jeopardy music in my head. Like the waiting music of, there is literally nothing happening. So then I decided to have a smallish piece of this cookie. My dad ate half of it and was passed out on the floor all fucking day from it. Mom had about a quarter of it and couldn't stop giggling for hours. So I figured, maybe I'll try a bite. Just one bite. I'll probably be good. I'm a very small person. I weigh like 110. I'm 4'11". So I am not a big person. I generally have a very low tolerance to things. So I figured it won't take much. I don't know why the others haven't kicked in, but at the same time, I'm the same person who can pop a handful of Benadryl and not even yawn. So I mean, my system isn't quite normal compared to most people's standards, given that most people take one Benadryl and need to go sleep. And I'm like, yeah, I don't feel anything off that. Same deal here, apparently. Even after that, just literally nothing, just felt completely normal and went about my day as I normally would, because fucking nothing happened. It's just like, that's a disappointment. About it, most I noticed was just a little bit of warmth in my cheeks. Not even as much as if I had a drink. Like, just a little tiny bit of heat in the cheeks. That was it. No red eyes, no shiny eyes even. No weirdness of anything. Just nothing. And it wasn't until that night that I realized, I think it did do one thing, and it's none of the stereotypical things. For the first time in my entire life, and this is not an exaggeration, I realized, you know what? My mind has been very quiet today in terms of anxiety. In fact, my anxiety's been silent. That's a thing that can happen? This is what normal people feel like all the time? Oh my god. So that was a little bit eye-opening of, it can be like that? I've tried almost every anti-anxiety drug on the market. None of them worked for me, and most of them gave me such severe side effects that I couldn't even stay on them because they made me too physically ill to function at all. So the fact that this did literally nothing detrimental, it literally only eliminated the anxiety and did nothing else, I was like, wait a minute. I may have just found my silver bullet to dealing with the world, holy shit. And given that's one of the top reasons they give out the medical cards for it, and that I have been offered it for that before from my doctor, and I just was always too scared of it to ever accept. Now I'm just like, I'm gonna reconsider. Wow. I mean, like I said, it literally did nothing else. I did not feel the tiniest bit high, not even a little tiny buzz, nothing, no gigglies, no munchies, no anything else. Just made my anxiety go away. I didn't even feel like particularly relaxed or anything. Like, if I have a drink and I just feel very chill and very relaxed, but doesn't necessarily quiet the anxiety. It's a different feeling entirely. This literally only silenced the anxiety, which to me was a very intriguing thing, because I've had anxiety conditions my whole life. Pretty much since birth, I do not remember a time when those were not a thing. So for all I know, I could have actually been born with them. So there's no way of knowing if a baby has them or not, I don't think. So I'm just gonna assume that probably my brain chemistry was always fucked up. But apparently, if the solution is that easy and that simple to get a card for, I may consider. I'm not doing anything about it immediately, and I don't see myself trying it again for a while, but I would like to try it again at some point just to see if it's that same reaction. And if it's legit that same reaction of all it does is quiet the anxiety and no other effects, I think I will probably end up asking my doctor about that, because, wow, that was impressive. I've never known what that feels like before, to just have a quiet, peaceful mind. It's a very lovely feeling, and now I'm very jealous of neurotypical people who don't have anxiety 24/7. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Now that I've seen what it's supposed to be like, this is sort of a wake-up call of just how fucked up my brain chemistry is, that it's literally always been that way. Like I said, I knew I was crazy, but that was kind of proof of apparently just how crazy, so at least I know. But yeah, in terms of anything else though, I honestly really found it disappointing that it didn't do anything else. So that said, most of my friends are hippies. Most of my friends have at some point or are regular users of that stuff. So I asked around and found out it is a pretty common thing, at least of the first time using it, that it just does nothing or does very little. And for some people, that's just how it is. Like one of my best friends, apparently for her, she's tried a lot of times, and it's really never done anything other than that for her. So I'm like, well, if I'm somebody like that, where that's all it's gonna do, I could hang with that. I could be a much more functional member of society with that little bit of help just to quiet the anxiety, because my anxieties are so severe, most of the time I cannot leave the house. I am agoraphobic. Like I said, I have many deep, very severe anxiety disorders, so yeah, the fact that it could be something that simple and something that comes naturally from the earth, I'm like, wow, I feel really stupid for being so scared of that for so long. That if that's all that stuff does, holy hell. I realize it may not be the norm for everybody. This was just my personal experience. My siblings, each at different points in their lives, have tried the stuff too, and have all had very different experiences as well. I don't think any of them ended up liking it. Actually, they all very much disliked what it did to them, so apparently I'm in a minority here. But yeah, just very interesting to me that I've been so misinformed on what it does and what it doesn't do. But like I said, I also do realize that it's different for every person, so it's impossible to say that just because it does X for one person, that it will do the same thing for another necessarily. But I think I'm mostly just shocked that all of the stereotypes I have heard my entire life about this stuff, for me anyway, are apparently completely untrue. They did not happen at all. Should I try it again? Maybe I'll do an update of whether or not it did anything that time additionally, or if it was same thing again of just pretty much nothing. I would not be surprised if I am one of those people it doesn't do anything else for, because like I said, my body apparently absorbs things in a very weird way, given that I can take a bunch of Benadryls, and that's actually a fairly dangerous thing to do, to take multiples of higher than the dose on the box, because for some people it can make you stop breathing, because it suppresses your respiratory system so much, and I'm over here like, it doesn't even do anything for me, so I could take 6 of them, it does nothing. So, it's interesting. It could be because I abused antihistamines for a while, inadvertently, not meaning to. In trying to treat severe allergies, I resorted to the internet of seeing what other people were doing to try to deal with ones that are that bad, and some people said that they worked their way up to being able to take multiple doses at a time of different antihistamines. I didn't do it just with that one. I also did it with Zyrtec, I think, and I think there's another one that I tried it with that way. The other ones I just used the way you're supposed to, but yeah, I kind of may have done a bad thing there. But regardless, they didn't really seem to do much anything for me either, so it's just like, well, damn. I don't know. And yet on other things, they'll hit me like a ton of bricks, whereas most people are unfazed by them. Like, I'm over here, most people can manage to do shots in a bar and still be okay. They may end up hungover the next day or something. I do literally 2, and I'm throwing up. So, and passing out. So it's just like, my tolerance levels on different things are very weird, apparently. And I don't know why they are that way, they just are. So, everybody's different, everybody's unique, that's okay. But it's just, it is weird. But yeah, it's just funny that I was so scared of it for so long, and the very thing I was so scared of could potentially be the key to my not being so terrified of the world at large. That's almost poetic irony, isn't it? But, yeah, I just want to throw it out there that I am in no way condoning or encouraging this use for anybody else. That's not the intention here. That's your own deal if you guys choose to make those decisions. Don't put that on me. That's not what I'm here to do. I wanted to give an unfiltered account of what my first time using it was like, because so many people, I have always swear, it feels like they're exaggerating it. And I'm like, well, apparently this must be a more common thing than people realize, and just people don't want to talk about it when virtually nothing happens for them because of these other people that had so much supposedly, allegedly happen, to where it's like, well, maybe I'll just shut up, because maybe I did it wrong, maybe, I don't know, but mine was nothing like that, so yeah, but it's just like, I felt there should at least be one voice out there just saying that it doesn't always do the things that the media would like to portray it as, or society in general would like you to believe that it necessarily does. It's not necessarily that strong, and it's not necessarily even gonna do anything. So, for whatever that's worth, that's just my personal experience. Yours, if you've used it before, may have been 100% different. That's, like I said, everybody's system is different, everybody's systems react to things different, and given my body is so notorious for reacting to things in ways that they really aren't supposed to, I'm actually not that surprised that I didn't have the anticipated reaction that most people do with it, so whatever. I mean, I'm just glad that I didn't have a bad experience with it. Disappointing maybe, but it was not bad. It was still pleasant because it quieted my anxieties. I mean, it wasn't a loss, it just was disappointing that I didn't live up to the expectation, but it wasn't bad, so for whatever that's worth. I don't see myself making it an everyday thing ever, even if I had a card for it, because honestly, my mind is still quiet now, and it's been like over 24 hours, so yeah, so I'm like, okay, that could potentially be something to look into, maybe. Given that was only basically 1 day's usage of it, I don't know if I would have the same experience the second time. That's why I'd probably want to wait until my uncle happens to have more on him sometime to try it a second time, see if I have the same reaction or not. If it's the same deal, I'll probably ask about it the next time I go to the doctor next month, and if not, then I guess I won't. But yeah, that. It blows my mind that I was so scared of it, and then it ended up doing nothing. That is my luck. That is my luck. But who even knows? So, these vlogs are me documenting my life, my thoughts, my opinions on things, my experiences with things, so you don't have to necessarily agree with it. This is a new experience I had that I felt on some level should be shared for educational purposes. So, for whatever that may be worth to you. So anyway, that's about all I have to say on this, I think. I don't think I'm missing anything, so as usual, if you like this video, click the like button. I wish that phone would stop doing that. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, leave comments down below on virtually anything you'd like to leave here that's relevant, irrelevant, I don't care, you can leave anything you want. Go ahead, and until next time.